Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Welcome back once again to your Casper crypto live stream, and we have particularly two massive pieces of information to get through today. We've got a lot of sources to get through today, what's been going on in crypto and in Casper, but the two key topics of conversation today, we'll be talking on smart contracts, which is the date confirmed. We have some sources giving some dates which align with some of our beliefs. We also do have posts and comments that don't confirm as such or still give a rough guideline. Again, we'll have to wait and see. And then we also do have one of the biggest announcements that's just come out today regarding rate cuts, which we'll get into it as well. I have already, again, as you would know right by now, I've already informed my VIP, so we are also perfectly aware of what is inevitably coming now. What is coming. The rate cuts are inevitable. We've got a lot to get into, so as always, if you enjoy the daily content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And welcome back again. Happy Friday, everybody. Greg, first, brother, welcome back indeed. Happy Friday, QC, and everyone, welcome back, my man. Hopefully having a great day so far. You too, KJI, let's go indeed. Brother Falco, welcome back. Mr. Mars first, yes, and as you can see, Mr. Mars, you can stop asking now. You have got that moderator role now, so again, with great power comes great responsibility. I know the troll, but I do trust you, so there you go, brother. Edwardson, welcome back, brother. Hope you're doing very well, and great to be back as well. Just to let you all know as well, tomorrow there will be another live stream. It'll probably be at a similar time to today's one, if not maybe a little bit earlier. But I'll let you all know in the announcements channel on my free Discord server. I highly recommend checking it out, because a lot of the information that we're talking about today is actually thanks to you lot in the community who's posting it in that Discord server. So while I do my own research as well, also we're all doing our own research is what I love about the community. So if you want to find out more ahead of time, be more interactive and talk more, then check out the free Discord server on my homepage here and also down in the description. Welcome back again, Wing Hong. We moon yet? Not yet, but hopefully the tides will be turning very shortly. And let's effing go. Let's go. Welcome back, Kryptoni, brother. I hope you're doing very, very well, my man. Going to buy some Casper right now. Big up, Wing Hong. Love to hear that, brother. Keep stacking that bag. Why would QC say Greg was first? Because he was. You can see it right here. Yes, there you go. You do have it. You're welcome. Yeah, I did it right after that stream where you said it only takes 5 minutes. I decided that as I was literally late, or whatever it was that I was doing that day, I can't even remember, but I was late for something. I just did it as I was walking out the door. I just said it on my phone. So there you go, brother. Looking forward to smart contract launch. Oh, as am I, Edwardson, as am I. Although, and it's not going to be necessarily a FUD, but again, just trying to bring more knowledge to the community about the smart contract, in particular Casplexes. It's coming from Shy, and again, you can decide whether you want to believe Shy or not, but the way that he lays what's happening out here is something that we need to take into account, because it brings a lot more clarity also to what's going on with smart contracts right now, and ultimately what steps will be taken. And yeah, Mr. Miles, I please don't. I know you're joking, but please don't. Today's numbers put a 0.5 basis cut on the table. Yes, they did, Jedi, and I'm looking very much forward to that. If you look at CME, the Fed Watch tool, we can see here that the odds of rate cuts now are significantly higher, and it even now has brought, it's guaranteed now. The chances of rate cuts are guaranteed. You got a 90% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut and almost a 10% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut. They are guaranteed now, which is, for all intents and purposes, very, very good. Now, those who are part of my VIP, you would have seen the alpha information we posted last month from institutional documents that did suggest that rate cuts could actually be counterproductive. So while, historically speaking, and in the grand scheme of things, this is great news for altcoins and for crypto, I'm still going to be playing reactionary and keeping a very close eye on the market and what institutions are doing, as I do with my VIPs, so we are aware how they will react to these incoming rate cuts. Now, as it stands right now, we can see from the market charts, Bitcoin's not really moving today, neither is Ethereum. Caspa's currently up 0.2%, valued at 8.1 cents. And this, for me, is proof that rate cuts have been priced in. Because rate cuts, by and large, are confirmed now. Of course, it's not going to be confirmed until the actual FOMC meeting on September 17th. But it's more or less guaranteed that the markets aren't exploding in value. And the reason why, evidently, is because rate cuts have been priced in, which does therefore mean that when the rate cuts hopefully and are officially approved, you'll see the movement in the market likely going up. If it ends up being a 50 basis point rate cut, that seems to be the growing sentiment. If it ends up becoming a higher possibility, then you might see a bit more of a correction just before the meeting. And once the meeting happens, 50 basis point rate cut, then you'll see an even bigger reversal and a rally upwards. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Welcome back, TP Bro. You're doing very, very well. Da Vinci says Casper $10 peak of the bull run when smart contract. Da Vinci said that. I think Da Vinci Jeremy. Wow, that's surprising from him to say that. I haven't heard that. Or at least I don't remember hearing that. Oh, he said 10 cents, not $10. Okay, well, that makes a lot more sense. And for me, I think Casper quite comfortably surpasses 10 cents. It's already done so, and I think it'll surpass that quite quite comfortably this cycle, considering what's coming, smart contracts, potential stablecoin. We got some news about that today, and equally the possibility still of tier 1 listings. We'll get into all that stuff in a moment, including the question of when smart contracts. And Dimitar, welcome back, brother. I don't care about the price. I buy every time I can. Great conviction there, brother. I'm happy that you keep stacking that bag, and hopefully we'll all be reaping the benefits very, very soon. That being said, let's get into the first source for today, which I guess we'll talk about rate cuts, as we did already briefly go over that. So we can see here a summary here from Solid Intel. I mean, I did my own one in my community, but this one here is just showcasing the United States average weekly hours, which is slightly below than expected, along with what it was previously. The non-farm payroll, which was previously 79k, expected at 75k, and it came down significantly to 22,000 jobs. And then the manufacturing payroll equally was a lot lower than expected. So this is really, really bad for the general economy, but that also therefore massively incentivizes the Fed to cut rates, especially because Jerome Powell said at the Jackson Hole meeting, we're no longer going to be focusing on inflation and tariffs. We're now going to be focusing on unemployment. So that's ultimately what we're seeing right here. That's what I said to my VIP. So therefore, we're going to likely see rate cuts. Again, that's what CME highlights here as well. Basically guaranteed that we're going to be seeing rate cuts right now. So a lot of changes incoming. Rate cuts are now certain. The labor market is weakening to pandemic levels. And core inflation is at 3%. So right now, the next 12 months will seemingly be great. Now, does this therefore mean that we're going to be seeing a peak in the next 2, 3, 4 months and then go through a bear market? It's tough to say. One thing that we can say for certain is we are in a different bull cycle. And therefore, as you have to do, as any great investor does, they play reactionary to the markets. Warren Buffett, one of the most renowned investors in the world, of course he has inside information, but he is one who will play reactionary to the markets. And right now, typically speaking, the cycles will reach its top in the next few months. But with the rate cuts coming so incredibly late, with crypto accelerating and adoption continuously, time and time again, then who knows? We may see an extended bull run. Time will tell, but I'm keeping a close eye on it. That's what institutions are saying, at least as well. We may see an extended bull run. So it's definitely stuff to look forward to and stuff to be very intrigued by, especially considering as well that apparently the Senate Banking Committee is aiming as early as today to release its update draft on the market structure legislation, so that the Clarity Act, reflecting feedback from for RFIs submitted before the August recess. So we therefore could see some further clarity, more guidelines and legislation stuff coming out for the Market Clarity Act, which is probably the next biggest bill that will definitely trigger a rally for institutions as well. So it's honestly a very, very big deal here in that. And again, proof of what Eric Trump's saying here, which I mean, I say that myself, that crypto right now is the next big thing, and it's currently growing faster than the internet. So we have still got more time in this cycle. How much longer, again, we still don't exactly know, but we've got more time and things are looking great for us right now, truth be told. Especially now that rate cuts are confirmed, this could be a very big thing. And even now, all the legislation coming through as well. ETFs will be coming out soon as well. We are in a very, very strong spot, and I think crypto is going to surpass a lot of people's expectations, honestly. We were up 3% today and everything just crashed. Yeah, I'd imagine that's because the 3% might just been the people trying to pump the market in anticipation from the job report, which now came out, and now it's come out. That FOMO of like, oh, we're going to see great reports has come through, and I was like, okay, we've taken our profits now, it's gone back to what it should be. Like, it hasn't really crashed. I mean, again, this is just me being nitpicky, but the terminology crash, like if someone says something's crashed, what that should mean is something's come back down in value by 10% or more. And this has gone from 3% up in Casper, and now we're only up 0.22%. So we haven't crashed, but I know you're just using that as a terminology rather than actually legitimately meaning it. But yeah, in my opinion, the reason why is because the market was pumping in anticipation for the job report that came out today. And when we got the report that confirmed rate cuts are now going to be happening, they're like, okay, cool, so now go take our profits. And then just, wait for the next week or two, the next 12 days until we get the FOMC meeting. That's effectively what I believe happened. Welcome back, Omar, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well, guys. The date is confirmed. Seemingly, we'll get to that in literally 1 minute. Welcome back, Kryptonian. And yes, now I'm at work. I don't like this time. I apologize, brother. I do apologize for that. I do try my best to find a time that accommodates to everybody, including my own schedule. And while I am hopefully and seemingly done with my personal situation for the time being, it looks like it has seemingly come to an end now, thankfully, for better. Today, I just didn't have the possibility to go live later. Like, I can't go live at the usual time, so I figured better off still me trying to get a live stream out for all of you to even watch or playback as opposed to not doing anything at all. Because I wouldn't want to do that when I have the opportunity to go live. I want to do what I can do, But tomorrow will also probably be a bad time for you, but Sunday should be usual, so hopefully you can tune in on Sunday, although I know the weekend, I'm not sure if you're working that time or not. Welcome, Erica. Welcome back. Hope you're doing very, very well. Da Vinci says $10 by end of bull run, but you said it a while ago. It's a YouTube short. I linked it to Discord stream content channel if you want it. Okay, I'll have a look at it actually. I'll look at it right now. Oh yes, you know what? Actually, I think this is one that I've actually uploaded to my channel a very long time ago. Yeah, I remember this one. I remember this short here. Da Vinci Jeremy was just saying, yeah, Casper coin will reach to $10. It's an old short. I think this is mainly him just engagement farming, because he still doesn't believe in Casper from our knowledge. He's still engagement farming, so I wouldn't take it too literally personally, especially now that that was a dated short and we're now in September of 2025, so we're in a fundamentally different cycle than we are now than we were beforehand. So yeah, just don't take it too literally is what I could say. Was I right about the 10th? Well, maybe you were, Jason, maybe you were. So if we can see here, Crypto Pumps reposted this here. Possible smart contract release dates for Casplex, hopefully not much longer. Here we can see in this supposed Casper official Telegram channel with people talking here, Rose, Rossi and whatnot. Rose highlights here that Casplex have postponed their layer 2 system launch on mainnet to improve its IT infrastructure, with the new tentative date around September 10th to 11th. Igor Labs testnet has been live since July 21st, etc, etc. So the roadmap command here seemingly given a rundown about the suggested launch date for Casplex smart contracts, which is apparently going to be on the 10th. Therefore, it doesn't look like you were right, Jason. However, as my community has put into my channel as well, in the Casper channel, shout out to Packod for this as well, you can see here Casperdor have responded in another Telegram group saying, when will smart contracts be launched? This month. So Casperdor's given a more vague answer about the launch of smart contracts. And then in this Telegram channel, it seemingly said the 10th or 11th. Now, I will say, as a full disclosure, in regard to Casperdor, I have complete respect and belief in that man. I do trust Casperdor a lot, and I love the work he's done for Casper. But if I'm going to be transparent and honest, there has been a situation in the past where he did say in the Casper Discord channel that the mainnet for Casplex will be coming out before the end of Q2, which would have been before the end of June. That didn't happen. We're now at the end of Q3. So I'm not saying I don't trust him, because I do. But I'm just saying, until I actually see the official smart contract out, because even then we had a confirmation date not long ago, 31st of August. It didn't come out. So until we see smart contracts actually live, I'm not going to truly believe any date just yet. Even this date here. And the reason why I'm not so sure about this one either is because there are a lot of scams that take place on Telegram. Like the amount of supposed Casper official Telegrams that I've been a part of, that I've been added to because they're scams. I just left them all. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's so many of them out there. You've got to be very, very careful. So I'm not saying that this is a fake Telegram at all. But at the same time, is it the 10th or 11th of September, being next week? Possibly. Capital's also saying this month. Don't be emotional. Be logical. Logically speaking, this month seems like it's going to happen. But at the same time, until it is officially launched and we can see it's launched, don't give too much into the FOMO. And also, the reason why I want to be also raising a little bit of caution is because of Shy. And I know a lot of you, or some of you, don't respect or like Shy because you think he's got a personal vendetta, and maybe he does, but we have 3 posts from him here, which I think is worth us covering to, again, just give us a greater understanding, more intellect and understanding of the situation at hand, and ultimately why Shy is acting the way he is online. So he said here, people who perceive criticizing Casplex's launch as an attempt to FUD Casper live, people who perceive criticizing Casplex's launch as an attempt to FUD Casper live in their own higher plane of stupidity. Of course, very much a Shy post there. And just wanted to highlight this current conversation here with Casper Silver saying Casplex doesn't equal Casper. It's unfortunate that even his questions aren't being answered by the Casplex team either. Shy saying it's not personal, they ignore everyone's questions with impeccable egalitarianism. I can't even say that word, I'm not going to bother trying to say that word, but just they ignore it apparently. The individual here is just kind of saying get over it, and Casper Silver saying, hey, there's not really anything to get over. You know, all projects should receive scrutiny, including Casper itself. It's actually how we make sure things get built correctly. And that's a big thing that unfortunately a lot of the community in Casper now have become a bit like. Because we are so desperate for our bags to pump for smart contracts to come out, we are also we're getting lazy. We're not asking the tough questions we should be asking to make sure that it's safe. There should be nothing stopping us from approaching or reaching out to whoever it may be building, asking questions, trying to really find the actual answers to stuff, to give yourself conviction that what they're trying to build is in line with Casper's ethos and therefore is safe, decentralized, secure. We can't, just because Casplex is an extension of the KEF and they've been a part of Casper for quite some time now, for over a year, doesn't mean you should blindly trust them. I don't blindly trust the KEF or the KII. I love what both of them have done for Casper so far, and I want to trust them, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to have 100% faith in them. How can I? I don't know what all they're building. I can see KII are as transparent as they seemingly can be, but at the same time, until I see the actual product launched, what can I say about the KII? All I can do when I talk about the KII is correlate what I know and what I've researched from institutions and their developments and regulatory legislation stuff, and relate that to what Casplex is trying to do with Casper. Like the fact that Casplex, about the KII are trying to do with Casper. Like the fact that apparently the KII have run tests on Swiss network. That's huge, but again, I'm taking their face value at their word. I haven't got confirmation of that. So the similar case here, asking questions to Casplex. Now, in regards to KII, normally when you ask the questions to the KII, they seem to answer more so. Casplex have been a lot more withheld, which is something that, again, is worth just taking into account. And people also are maybe making that loose misconception that Casplex and Casper are the same thing. They're not. It's a third party trying to build smart contracts on Casper, but they're not the same thing. If Casplex, God forbid, was to just disappear, would it be quite disastrous? Probably. Drive a lot of FUD, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Because they're not what Casper is. Casper is its own project. Casplex is trying to leverage Casper. That's basically what it is. And yeah, there seems to be a little bit of uncertainty around Casplex. And then we get into this next post here from Shy, which I'm not going to read the whole thing out, but I'm going to summarize what he said here. Because effectively what he summarized here is, people who have been calling Shy out for not criticizing Casplex and IGRA through the same lens. And Shy is saying this is ridiculous, because he's trying to say that if both third-party projects were going about things the same way, he would criticize them both. But Casplex are his main issues, and why he's fudding or throwing shade at Casplex and not IGRA, is because of the launch date stuff. Because there have been on a number of occasions now where members or the team of Casplex have announced launch dates and never hit those targets. IGRA have said at best Q4 launch. That's a very, very wide parameter. They haven't given a launch date yet. But it's also not reassuring to give a launch date and then to back out last second. And basically what Shai is saying in this post here, which you can read for yourself, I'll link this down below, or link this in my free Discord community, is that the problems that seemingly are floating around Casplex's launch right now, apparently, in his words, apparently they are similar to what happened with KRC 20 right now. So Shai is saying here that, you know, both projects, you know, both IGRA and Casplex do have some shortcomings, as they would. Some similar shortcomings at present, but Casplex have announced an imminent launch date despite these issues, whereas IGRA have not set a launch date at all. And that's problematic, because apparently the launch could affect the centralization and open source nature of Casper, of the project, without an open testnet. So that's one of the points that Shai makes here. You know, he's not trying to deflect or anything like that. And of course, you know, people understandably will come at Shai saying that he's just being, you know, petty, because of course he's bad blood with KEF and Johnny in particular. And maybe he is. Again, we can't say for sure. I have also made that comment myself, that maybe he's been there, because I've got to look at this from a neutral and wide perspective. But at the same time, he is giving a very long breakdown exactly of his worries right now with Casplex, and complaining about the fact that right now it looks like Casplex's launch, their mainnet, seems to be almost a bit premature, and again, it's not ready. It's not ready for it. And if IGRA to do the same thing, he'd also be concerned about it, but IGRA are not doing the same thing right now. And then he also builds on this with this post here, which is, I think, even more of a reason why the current launch of Casplex may be a bit worrying. Because this is Shai again. While not a developer, he's a very knowledgeable researcher, a PhD in quantum cryptography. He knows Casper more than most do, because he's a researcher, and he's been a big part of Casper since the beginning. He understands crypto more than we probably ever will. And he makes the argument here that people seem to think that once a rollup is based, it means that the layer 1 carries all the costs. So the layer 2 doesn't need a coin. That's patently incorrect. Patently incorrect. Key examples: creating ZK proofs is expensive. It requires strong, possibly custom hardware, and the entitled operational cost. So again, to summarize what he's talking about here, native tokens serve all utilities that are not funded by the base layer, some of which are crucial for decentralization, censorship resistance, and so on and so forth. So basically, what he highlights here is that native tokens are essential for a number of crucial functions that are not covered by the base layer. So in this regard, a native token, so IGRA have their dollar IGRA right now. They've already got the pre-sale done, and they'll be releasing with the mainnet. The IGRA token is needed because a number of crucial functions need to have that native token that won't be covered by the base layer, such as incentivizing people like those who generate these expensive ZK proofs, preventing censorship and ensuring decentralization, compensating for snapshot proofs, and also enabling decentralized governance through a DAO. This is why, I mean, a lot of people don't like the pre-sale element, and I get that. I do. Of course, we don't like that Casper was fair launch. We want to have something fair launch and no. But at the same time, at a patent level, again, as in Shai's word, you have to have this native token in order for you to be able to launch these layer 2 rollups on a layer 1, because layer 1s don't cover all the costs. That might change with VProgs and whatnot and stuff coming out in the future, but right now it's not the case. So that also does therefore raise some concerns regarding Casplex, because Casplex haven't had a pre-sale, and at least not more so until recently with this dollar Casplex stuff that we heard about, Casplex seemed to have no native token at all. We thought it could be running just purely off Kaspa. And that's an issue, because that therefore is one of the issues that's been raised by builders and also by Shai recently about how there's no native token. Therefore, what Kaspa is trying to build could potentially hinder the open source nature of Kaspa decentralization and security. Kaspa is preparing to launch a mainnet without addressing these fundamental issues of decentralization and open source functionality. And IGRA, still in the early stages and they still have their own shortcomings to overcome, but they are trying to do that right now, and they have got a token. They know they need to launch one. And again, it's not me, once again, trying to spread FUD about Casplex. I know it seems like I do that quite a lot now, but I don't really want to, or I don't even mean to. I do like the fact that we got Casplex here. I liked KYC 20. The first launch and the relaunch, the initial stages were terrible. You know, they were problematic, but I like it. I like what these memes are for Kaspa. I do like this. And I like the projects that have come out of that. Nacho, Wolfie, Conan, Casper, Kango, Caspi, whatever it may be, all these projects have done quite a good job for the most part. And I'm sure they'll see a lot more adoption with the state of where Kaspa's at right now, and seemingly, hopefully, going to be rallying up soon. With tier 1s coming on board and whatnot as well. I like it. But I don't want Casplex to end up doing something that will inherently ruin the fundamental nature of Kaspa. And this is ultimately what Shai has just been trying to raise. He had been very quiet about this, in all honesty, considering that this testnet for Casplex came out in end of May it was, and we've had the Casplex testnet for 3 months now. Shai has not mentioned anything about it until the date was confirmed. And then, only a week or so before the actual release of this, then we got the launch date was delayed again. And now we have no time frame for when it actually is. We've been told seemingly the 10th. We've also been told by Capital maybe this month. But if these fundamental issues have not been addressed, and Shai is right, which is my worry, he knows more about crypto than I will. I'm worried that Casplex might be taking things and doing things the wrong way, and this could inevitably ruin. You know, native coins make tons of sense and solve many problems. Casplex and Johnny are no place to criticize it as long as they are working to launch a network that proposes no alternative solution. Everything else is a distraction. A sorry attempt to turn the spotlight to IGRA while creating fake optics that both projects are of a similar tier, which they definitely aren't. The only thing you need to remember, though, is that Casplex are allegedly preparing to launch a mainnet, while IGRA are openly still in the conception stage. That's enough to make the comparison outrageous. And that I don't think is an unreasonable point to make. You know, if Casplex are trying to compare themselves to IGRA right now, which, in that regard, I mean, they're both, again, third-party layer 2 trying to build on Kaspa, but IGRA are at the very early stages just releasing their testnet right now. Whereas Casplex are preparing for a mainnet launch. There are two very different stages in the project. So again, I'm gonna read through the comments right now, and I want to see what all your thoughts are on this as well. But this goes back effectively again to what Casper Silver has stated when originally responding to one of Shai's posts here, which is just, it's not a case of don't trust Casplex. It's a case of, and this also may end up being an issue as well, which is also maybe why Casplex are waiting, I don't know, but it comes as an issue of, if with these red flags being raised, and again, them not just being, but for me, they're becoming less and less like Shai's got an agenda against the KEF and Casplex events, but it more so he's actually just trying to raise concerns for those who just aren't as knowledgeable. Just sit on the side and wait to see the code, to see how it functions, how it works. That's currently my 2 cents. I'll come back full circle and answer any questions I have on this, and I'll post this information in my free Discord channel as well. So again, if you want to read it for yourself, go check that stuff out 100%. But let me quickly get into some of the questions to see what we've been saying about this. Good morning, the 3D. Hope you're doing very, very well. Getting excited. Oh, it's very exciting stuff for Casper, no doubt. I'm looking forward to what's coming out. The smart contract for Casplex, despite what we just spoke about, I'm looking forward to their release. I just hope that it is done correctly. When will PayPal and all other major financial applications have Casper? It's a great question. Ultimately, we don't know, Wing Hong. We don't know. I imagine you'll see a lot of more of adoption in that regard happening in the next 12 to 24 months. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be a quick process, but it's going to happen quicker than we expect. Considering that we do, BlackRock got their first Bitcoin ETF January 2024. We're about a year and a half, almost 2 years now, of institutional adoption into crypto. And all my alpha documents that I talk about, my VIPs, again, you can check it out for free for 7 days or equally for a month. Should you sign up to BYDFI or affiliate exchange, you will see that we talk with the documents we cover is all talking about this transformative change happening in the next 12 to 24 months and even to 2030. So we are in a prime spot to see a lot more coming through as of right now. Welcome back, Double D, bro. Hope you're doing very well, brother. Everybody's still working. Love to hear that, Tony. Welcome back, bro. Hope you're having a great day. I'm glad you can tune in, even though, I know the timing for the American market or the American time zone is not ideal because I know a lot of you are still at work. So I do apologize for that. But I figured I at least can get a stream out today as opposed to not having one at all. Especially considering what we're talking about today, I think it's quite big and worthwhile covering. Is the date for smart contracts out? Seemingly yes, but again, just wanted to once more remind you all to not be emotional and think logically. We have got a date here seemingly saying September 10th and 11th, which could be the case, therefore being in 5-6 days, and then equally have this post from Casplex here, which highlights this month, which is more vague, but again, it could be the case. But once more, don't get your hopes up necessarily, because we had seen an official launch date being the 31st of August that got delayed. We saw Casplex say 2-3 months ago, back in May, that we'll see mainnet launch before the end of Q2, and we're now at the end of Q3. Nothing against any of these people in a personal sense at all. It's just that's the part of the unfortunate thing when you give a deadline and you can't meet that deadline. It makes it hard to trust the legitimacy of what's being said. And I don't want to say that because again, I like Casplex, and again, full disclosure, I love Casplex and his work he's done and the tools he's created for Casper and whatnot. I love what he's done, but when he has said on a number of occasions now, given a sort of vague or even more concrete timeline and date for it and to not come to fruition, whether it's his fault or not, he's given a date, it's not come to fruition, unfortunately it looks bad on him. So it seemingly says either in 5 days or sometime this month, which both is very possible. We'll have to wait and see. But again, despite the possibilities of that, we do still have red flags being raised by Shy, which is equally being not to the same level but similarly raised by myself now, but also Kappa Silver here as well. But he's saying that, he's been asking similar questions to the Casplex team and he'd be getting no responses. That's not ideal. Because again, I'm sure, and I say I'm sure, we haven't had the case really to do so yet, but if you were to raise a question to the IGRA team, they'd probably respond. Someone would respond. And I'm sure if there are certain questions I have to the KRI about certain products, provided it wasn't under NDAs and whatnot, they'd probably give me an answer of sorts as well. The Casplex are ignoring people's questions. And again, their transparency thing they released, at least according to Shy, was just kind of a way to raise the hopes of Casper's community again, but actually it was not what the builders wanted. It didn't really help at all. And Shy has been very, very critical of Casplex. Well, not as much to IGRA, but that's not because again it's not because he has anything personal seemingly, in his words, not personal against Casplex. It's because the way they're going about things, they're bragging about ZK EVMs for months now. He kept his mouth closed and watched from a distance. I didn't like their approach very much, but there wasn't anything objectively offensive about it. Only when I saw them gearing up for a launch or repeating all the mistakes they made their previous 2 launches so disastrous, did I decide it was time to speak up. He's talking about KYC 20. And that's what I've been saying as well. My only hope was when Casplex releases this smart contracts, it's not a repeat of KYC 20, because that was a disaster. They're not bad now, but why can't they have launched KYC 20 at its stage where it's at right now, where it's not bad? Why did they have to release it when it was still a mess? You shouldn't release stuff at a mess. You should be releasing it when it's good, or basically it's good. I mean, again, you won't know till it's fully out, I guess, but that's what testnets are for. There is no problem with releasing code gradually. He's not even got a problem with Casplex being a bit more held with the code they have right now and releasing it stage by stage. There's no problem with taking the time to converge on the details before publishing documentation. There's no problem with initial testing with code with closed nodes, and there's no problem with having lingering questions about the architecture that still require solutions. But there is a problem when the mainnet launch is imminent while all of the above remains true. That, I think, is a very objective, logical, and fair point to make from Shai. He's not trying to say that Casplex are doing terribly. His concern isn't that Casplex have issues, it's that they have issues and they're still trying to launch a mainnet soon. And it's been delayed now. It's been 5-6 days delayed now. And I'm listening to this why. Because you have seemingly a lot of issues, no code release just yet, or not enough code release just yet. Not enough initial testing done. A lot of questions that still haven't been answered yet, haven't been resolved just yet. And they're still trying to launch a mainnet. The exact same situation with KYC 20. So, will it be this month? As Capital says, will it be in 5 days' time? Who knows? If they can get these situations resolved, then that's fine. If they get all this stuff resolved in that time frame, then that's perfectly fine. Go for it. But if these issues are still a prevalent thing at the mainnet launch, then there's definitely a cause to be concerned. Just again, don't be emotional, just think logically. Just observe in this time. I'm trying to think where exactly was it that I saw the post. Scrolling down a little bit. No, not there. Here. Look, it's capital of it here, when someone replied saying, asking him, what does this mean? He just said, it just means that you shouldn't rush into any smart contract solution that gets launched. Wait for it to launch and to be used in the real world before interacting. Don't blindly trust. That goes for Casplex, it goes for IGRA, it goes for Kaspa. He says it here as well. Casplex doesn't equal Kaspa. And even there it says there's nothing really to get over here when this individual said here as well. All projects, everything should receive scrutiny, including Casper itself. Is actually how we make sure things get built correctly. With trust in mind. As opposed to just greed. Because again, human greed is always a function. Casper's the only project that's been built in history that actually takes into account human greed, but does not stop human greed leveraging Casper to make profits. I'm not saying Casplex are doing that. But I'm saying that, you've seen Properfy do it, you've seen Change Finance do it, you're saying KDX do it. I'm not saying Caspers are doing the same thing, but just because Casper's base architecture has taken into account human greed, but people who build on top of it could still be greedy. So just keep your wits about you is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. IGRA seemingly doing quite a lot right now. They've announced here that they're giving away 3 tickets to the Casper experience in Berlin, which is really cool. And to enter, you have to deploy any simple contract on the Caravel testnet that's currently out. Share the transaction hash, and you can show you can build and get a berth. That is really, really cool for IGRA. So IGRA, again, doing a lot of stuff here. And Zealous have highlighted here that they expanded their faucet. And now they're on the IGRA Caravel testnet as well, which is great stuff. So they're on Casplex and on IGRA right now. User can claim 20 ICAS directly at faucet.zealouswap.com. Again, do so at your own discretion. Do your own research. Now, in regard to ZealousSwap, I did see Tony, Cryptony, even post this in my Discord server, and I'm conflicted opinions about this. Introducing ZealousSwap members. Launching with Beta 10, the system is designed for market makers and high-frequency traders who need efficiency at scale. Members can only be purchased with Zeal, the token they have, unlocking a 30% swap fee reduction across all pools. Flexibility access tiers lets you choose what suits your strategy best, whether short-term, long-term, or even lifetime membership, lower cost, deeper liquidity, and tighter spreads, built for professionals, strengthening Zeal's utility, and benefiting everyone. And it's now live on the Casplex testnet. Now, it's conflicting to me, and I'll explain what I mean. Because if you were to get high net worth individuals and market makers to leverage and utilize Zealous, that will inherently benefit them more and inherently benefit the community on Zealous more, and then also Casper as well. But unfortunately, I mean, again, it's how the world works. Those who have the money, have the capital, they always will get the benefits, and you have to adhere to those people because they know they can get benefits. So, the same thing for BYDFI, who I'm working with. If you are someone who've got a lot more liquidity, as I've been told from the BYDFI team, they've got a lot more liquidity, whereas traders can get a 17% discount if you sign up to my affiliate link. If you've got high liquidity, you can get up to 20-25%, I believe. So you can get even more discounts when trading, which is, you know, a big benefit, amongst other things as well. You can get one-to-one contact with the BYDFI team if you sign up through my affiliate link and you are a whale. Whales get benefits. And it does, of course, help Zealous out, but it does, again, mean that they're arguably putting more focus onto the high net worth people than to the actual community. So it does seem maybe a bit unfair. Again, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Because again, I think you can argue both points in regards to having a high net worth people on Zealous could help out everybody. If they bring more capital onto Zealous, it helps out everybody. But at the same time, you know, in regards to Casper's ethos about literally being for everybody, and of course just the big money coming in and just because they see the benefits in Casper, you know, this is literally adhering to those who have a lot of net worth, which is, you know, not in that regard aligning with Casper's ethos, if you get what I mean. But again, I hear what you guys think and girls think in the comments right now, so I'm going to catch up. I love Shy. I also respect Shy. I think Shy has been... I think Shy does have his own... I think Shy has problems with communication. I think there's a certain manner in which you have to learn to speak to people or address certain topics. I don't think Shy's mastered that. But, I mean, he's a smart man. He knows what he's talking about. He's got his PhD. He's been a part of Casper. I respect his opinion. He's the reason I got into Casper. So I always take what he says into account. I don't trust it blindly, though. I mean, you've heard me even now say that maybe he's got a vendetta against Casplex, but these points he makes here, I think, are logical and worth at least just keeping into account. Egalitarianism basically means equally. Okay, egalitarianism. Well, thank you very much, because my dyslexic brain could definitely not read that word out. With impeccable egalitarianism. So yeah, basically they ignore everyone's questions equally. Just somehow, just like they don't care about anyone else in the questions. We are in catch-22. We are not going to pump until Binance, and Binance is waiting for a pump. Potentially, Jedi. Potentially. I mean, I have been seeing these hypothetical, you know, leaks and whatnot about when looking at the wallets of wallet address number 2 and the certain transactions, you know, using binary code. Apparently, it's meant to be Binance's wallet. All these intricate things being done right now. You know, it's funny. It's interesting. I do think Binance, again, launching capital cycle, I think for me is still an inevitability, but it's just a case of when. Welcome back, Gosu Bro. Hope you're doing very well, brother. Welcome back to you, my man. And you too as well, Buffalo 3. Welcome back, bro. You're doing very well again. Welcome back, Dylan. Let me get Shy. Tweet. He's a big crowd. But yeah, again, I understand people not being appreciative or respecting of Shy. Because again, Shy has been a part of a lot of drama around Casper. So I get that. But the guy is a very intellectual individual. And if you read through his posts here, and again, you know, that's not to say that people can, again, you know, thinking on a psychological level, you can lay out a point in a very logical sense, but still have hidden agendas behind it. But when I'm reading through what Shy is saying here, and reading through, you know, the fact that a native token is a necessity, and he explains the reason as to why in this, talking about his calling out of Casplex isn't because Casplex itself have problems, it's because they have problems and they're still trying to launch a mainnet when the problems are still a thing. That's his issue. Not because Casplex is not trying to throw shade at... Look, he's like, again, he didn't like their approach of Casplex. He didn't want to talk about it. It wasn't until they were trying to launch a mainnet with these issues still being about, they said he had to speak up. Like, again, he's not part of Casper anymore, and he's still trying to look out for the community. That's how I see it right now, at least. And yes, maybe he had a personal vendetta, but this is the time where I'm like, you know what, I want to keep Shy's words in mind in regards to the launch that, again, seemingly is imminent. How imminent, we don't know, but seemingly imminent. And yes, as Gosu says, yes, definitely smash the like button. And Buffalo Link as well, and Buffalo Link even as well, yes. Smash the like button if you enjoy these streams, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. I don't agree with the message being Hong, but yeah, smash the like button. Definitely smash the like button. Not like that though. Casper DCA, buy or wait for lower prices next 10 days. I mean, yeah, next 10 days you'll then see the FOMC meeting by that point, and that will hopefully start to result in Bitcoin, Ethereum starting to rally and price alts following in suit. and Casper therefore start to make a move towards 9, hopefully 10 cents as well. Welcome back. I bet with a go. Is there a date for smart contracts? It's not confirmed. We've got a date suggesting 10th to 11th of September, so 5 to 6 days. We also got a date from Capital in this other screenshot here, which suggests this month, which is more vague. But again, as I've been highlighting, remember Capital said before the end of Q2, we're at the end of Q3 now. We haven't had smart contracts out just yet, and again, we don't know the legitimacy of this this part here as well, this Telegram server. So it seems to be this month for the most part. But again, when we're looking through what Shah's talking about here, which again, you can like him or not, you can trust him or not, I'm choosing to take what he's saying into account. When you have this part in particular here where he's saying he's literally saying here, there's no problem with releasing code gradually. There's no problem with taking time to converge on the detail before publishing documentation. There's no problem with initial testing with closed nodes, and there's even no problem with having lingering questions about the architecture that still require solutions. There's no problem with what Casplex are doing effectively, but there's a problem when your mainnet is about to come out while all the above still remain true. So in that regard, is the smart contracts going to be released in 6 days, 5 days, or in terms of this month? Maybe. Are these things still going to be a problem? Hopefully not. Otherwise, then there may be something to just keep a close eye on. In that regard, though, in the absolute worst case scenario that Casplex launched this and it ends up being a big issue, it'll cause a lot of FUD. You'll see a lot of lower prices. You might even see it come back down below than what we thought. Might come back to 5 cents again. It would be a disaster, no doubt. But with IGRA still building, I was still not worried. Because if it was just Casplex and they did this, I'd be worried. But with IGRA still building, with Project Sparkle still in the works, that's not going to come out to 2026 most likely though. With IGRA still building though, and they're doing a lot of work, I'm not worried. We still have got smart contract solutions coming to Casper, and IGRA are going about things for the most part right now the right way. They're taking their time, which is what you should do when you still have issues to address. Deadlines are there to be excited. Look at Ethereum's proof of work to proof of stake. How many times have they pushed it back? Oh yeah, I mean, again, pushing it back is a natural thing, but you know, for me, like again, you got IGRA. Even had think about 10 BPS migration. We were given deadlines for certain things. Then we got given a roadmap deadline month on month for what was expected to happen at the end of those months. And even then, we were expecting the 10 BPS to happen in April, happened in May. So I had to get pushed back again, but we didn't have a concrete deadline. The fact that Casplex announced concretely 31st of August and then delayed it. And equally you had Casper who's leaked end of Q2, we're end of Q3 now, that's 3 months later. They've been delayed again. It's better, in my belief, that you give a vague timeline, very vague, and I'm saying coming Q2, coming Q3, coming Q4, like what happened previously, and then, you know, adhering to that. But giving a very set in stone deadline and then delaying that, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence. It makes it quite hard to trust them, because it makes like the next time they announce a concrete date, I'm gonna make a video, make a stream talking about, oh yeah, smart contracts are coming on this date, because that's what it says. But deep down inside me, I'm not gonna get excited because I'm gonna wait until it actually comes out, because they could delay it again. So it ruins my trust, unfortunately. You know. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of talk about that as well, Jason. Ultimately, we don't know. My institutional documents that I cover with my VIPs every week and whatnot suggest it may extend into 2026 a little bit further. But again, we have to wait and see. You know, there's still so much to take into account right now. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be attending that. But I'm going to the London one, I believe, in December, which Son Polinsky will be there. So I'm looking forward to that. And I disagree with you, Lieutenant there. Casper has not failed at all because we're still very early. Very, very early. So Wolfie made the community pay for MEXC, but refused to do the same for Quantum and Binance. Yeah, no, you make a fair point there, but I still don't think Casper's failed in that regard at all. You know, Casper got to here, and that was, you know, all this stuff here. Like, I mean, again, Kraken Exchange launched Casper without any funding. And if you've been listening to any of the interviews with Wolfie and One as well, they're, at least with the likes of Binance, their issues is not payment. It's just their time to launch Casper. Now, of course, if you pay them saying launch it right now, they probably would, but they are saying that issues aren't payment. They don't need to be paid for Casper. They just want to do it when it's time for them. So, I personally disagree with you, Lieutenant, but again, we can be we could be divided there as well. I don't think Casper's failed at all. I think it's first cycle. I think it's early. I think we've got a lot more time. We'll have to wait and see. Natural NFT staking power gives you discounts on Zealous fee share. There's also benefits. That's also why I like Nacho, because Nacho has got its paws into multiple different parts of the community, in Igra, in Casplex, in Zealous, in Casper.com, with Wolfie, I think a little bit as well, maybe. It's very deeply ingrained. That's why I think Zealous is a good shout as well. And yeah, that's also true as well. And yeah, I mean, in regards to marketing, like in terms of funding, then yes, funding, Casper's not done well. But in regards to the marketing from the community, Casper's got the strongest community. But in regards to KOL backing or VC backing or all that stuff, yeah, it's not strong because it's a fair launch project. But it's what it is. We are the marketing, we are very loud, but it's just going to take time. Things just take time, you know. And unfortunately, Lieutenant, you are also somewhat living outside, you're also living inside your own liquid echo chamber there as well. Because if you knew the information that we talk about, that Mr. Miles would see, and those who are part of my VIP, Tony and Joker would see as well, you will see that they don't talk about price. These institutions, as we're in an institutional cycle, they don't talk about price. They talk about tech. We are going away from a hype cycle into a tech-driven cycle. So while price, of course, we want to see price do well, retail care for price, definitely. Even institutions care for price, but they understand that what is worthwhile is good tech. And Casper, in that regard, and I believe, is great tech, innovative tech. KI building with them, more projects seemingly looking to build on them as well. At the end of the day, we are crypto as a institution is a niche. It's an echo chamber bubble. Institutions have been here for the first time in like two years they've been here, and we're now seeing it develop more and more. Where you're seeing, crypto growing fast in the internet. So you're seeing the Senate now starting to release its updated draft for the Clarity Act, which is going to be huge, bringing more institutional adoption. In the last cycles beforehand, price has been all that matters. Do you think people invest into Tesla because of price? Yes and no. They invest in Tesla because, or even Nvidia. Yes and no. They invest in Nvidia because the price is appealing, because you know it's going to go up because it's got great tech. That's why you invest into Nvidia, because you know it's doing AI stuff, it's got great tech, and therefore the price is going to go higher. In that regard, then Casper, its price is not great right now, but when you look at being built with it, and you understand that institutions are coming involved, and they're getting involved and trying to build on great tech, then hype and FOMO will be less of a thing in the future. What's going to drive the price of assets will be how great the tech is and the building taking place on it and the transactions, which is why we are early and we're going through a maturing nature right now of crypto. Do you want to find that information out, Lieutenant? You can join to my VIP free for a week or for a month. Sign up to BYDFI, you can join for a month for free, and you look through the hundreds of institutional docs we got in there that talk about this shift coming through, the tech they're being built. Some of the stuff they do correlate to Casper, because some of the docs from like PwC, who's a partner of the KRI. And you can correlate stuff to talking to Casper as well, or just correlate to crypto in general. It's up to you, but you can see what institutions are talking about, and they're the one trying to take over the market right now. That's why I'm not worried about Casper. So again, I don't think Casper's failed in the slightest just yet. But that's just at least my opinion, you know. I'm just looking. I'm not gonna click on all the posts, as with the conversation between Lieutenant and people going back and forth here. I just want to see. Yeah, fair enough. I'm just waiting for my frustration. While I might be selfish for me to do it here. Oh no. Again, I'm not saying your points are invalid, Lieutenant. All your points you make are valid. I've seen them before. You've done it numerous times, and I agree. It's frustrating, but at the same time, I think there's still a massive misunderstanding for a lot of people in this. Even me, I'll miss certain stuff. Everyone has their own understanding of what's happening and what's needed. Some believe tier 1's are necessary for Casper. Some believe that smart contracts are necessary for Casper. And I agree, there are great things that will help Casper out a lot. Smart contracts in particular. But I think the other developments, the smart contracts, the tier 1s, all that stuff, those will come. And I know why I believe in Casper, because Casper again is very innovative tech, doing what every other project that is proof of stake in the space that can do, while being decentralized and being quick and scalable and secure. And the adoption will therefore come, and the price will therefore come back as a result. But it's just, unfortunately, with anything, these things take time. You know, it's just frustrating. I agree, it's frustrating. I'll give you that, most definitely. But yeah, I think we all do live in our own echo chambers in that regard. You know, I do believe that much. You know, I don't think Casper will fail though. I don't think it will fail. That's as simple as I'll put it. I don't think Casper will fail. I think Casper has all to play for. You know, if you look at every other project in this space, your XRPs, your Ethereums, your SUIs, they are basically completed projects. Casper hasn't even got smart contract on it just yet. Hasn't even got VPROG's native smart contract on it just yet. Hasn't got many tier 1 listings just yet. Hasn't got stablecoins on it just yet. Hasn't got institutional adoption on it just yet. Hasn't got Dagnite that's coming out next year on it just yet. All these other catalysts still to come through when we're going through a transformative cycle, and these institutional documents I cover here talk about the next 24 months being the most significant time where everything's going to come on chain. You know, this is a transformative stage. You're going to see a crypto culling. A lot of crypto will go to zero. Casper is not one of them, because its tech will keep it alive. You're seeing Bitcoin maxis starting to convert to Casper as well, because they see the tech for what it is. The top assets, the Magnificent Seven in the stock market, they're where they're at because they are great tech companies. Mag 7, you know? Mag 7 being Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Apple, Google, Tesla, and the last one I'm forgetting. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Apple, Google, Nvidia. How did I forget Nvidia? Yeah, those are Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Google, Meta, which is Facebook previously, Amazon and Microsoft. Those are the top 7 because they are tech. They are great tech. So again, for me, it makes sense that, you know, Casper being such great tech, it will definitely do well in the future. And I still think it could do well this cycle. I still have no doubt in that. It's just going to be it just might be a delayed pump because all the big developments are coming out so late. But again, look at all altcoins. All altcoins right now are still struggling. Casper more so than most in regards to it still being down for over a year and a half. But everything is still at this position right now. You know? So I get frustration 100%. But I don't think Casper's failed at all. I think it's got more time. A lot more time to shine. Yeah, and it's definitely undervalued. I agree with that much. Exactly. If Casper was just another proof of stake, pre-allocation to investors and team, then yeah, they need marketing. Bitcoin didn't leave. Yeah, exactly. If Casper was the same as everything else, then yes, it needs marketing. But otherwise, then no, it's not the same. I'm just waiting for some low fee coins that sends my crypto as fast as possible. USDC and USDT are kind of slow for me and gave me problems. I'm waiting for Casper. Is it all major financial apps? I mean, you'll probably see Tether and Circle on Casper Protocol, and therefore it'll still be quick and cheap because it's on Casper Protocol. 6 cents soon? Depends. It depends on factors. If Casplex's mainnet launch is terrible, then you might see that happening. Which I hope it won't happen. I pray Shai's wrong. But, you know, again, I don't think I'm not worried about 6 cents unless the worst happens. I think for the most part, a lot more is about to come to Capital that send a lot higher. I mean, again, I personally disagree. If you look at Mag 7, if you go onto the stock market and type in Mag 7, all the big 7 top companies are there because they are great tech companies. So fundamentally speaking, tech does matter. Tech literally matters. Institutions are coming into crypto because the SWIFT system they currently use to transact money across the world is got 3-4 day delay times. It's expensive and incumbent and goes down. They're coming to blockchain because it's quicker and it's cheaper. So they are coming to crypto because it's got better tech. So the generic point that tech doesn't matter is factually incorrect. Because what's happening in our world right now, the stock market, Mag 7, and also institutions coming into crypto is because the tech is better. So yes, I'm sorry. I understand people's frustrations. I really, really do. But when you analyze it in that perspective, the statement of tech doesn't matter is factually incorrect. Because all the biggest and most powerful companies in the world are great tech. And crypto is being mass adopted right now by institutions because it has better tech, provides better benefits for financial markets and everything. BlackRock wants to tokenize everything because of tech. I'm hoping I'm not speaking gibberish. I hope that makes sense. At least I think that makes sense. Now, does that mean Caspa is going to thrive? In my belief, it will do because it's great tech, but it will take time. But again, we are frustrated with the Caspa, and you're justified to be frustrated with Caspa. You know, everyone's got frustrated about Caspa right now. But it's again like it's a 20-30% completed project. Everything else in this space is born as completed, has VC backing and whatnot to pump the price up higher. Caspa hasn't got that. It's fair launch, so it's harder for it to pump. But it's 20% completed. When you get the stuff like Dagnite, smart contracts, the tier ones, the stable coins, the native smart contracts, the Mev Oracle stuff, all that stuff coming out, and can become a more completed project, you'll see the adoption come through. You'll see the volatility, the liquidity, and the price go up. It's just a matter of being patient. I know I hate saying that. I do. I still think Capital's got more to go this cycle, truly. And I think from now, for the next 10 plus whatever years, is a gold mine. That's my personal belief. It's not financial advice. You don't like Casper, it's perfectly fine. I just wanted to address the point of tech doesn't matter. I don't think that's a fair point, considering of where we're currently standing in the world. That's my personal belief, at least. How Casper grow in billions without a Hopkinson like CEO with connections? Wolfie's sending emails to Coinbase. Not going to move the needle. Smart contracts are going to take us to 30 bill markup. Potentially, I hope so. I really, really hope. My biggest concern is that people say we are early. Last cycle Cardano crashed on smart contracts. That was not early. Also, hash rate is dropping in the bull market. I know. I get your concerns are also very justified. R0. And I mean, yeah. I'll start to try and again, I won't do too much because again, this is what the paying members of the VIP get. But I publish a lot of information in here, VIP information that showcase and proves for us why we are early. I'll start making a bit of an effort to publicize some documents occasionally on my Twitter, maybe even in the streams as well, to support the theory of why we are still early. And yes, hash rate dropping is a concern, but it's because people right now aren't mining Casper because it's not profitable. But if you get adoption coming back, which will probably come back from smart contracts and whatnot, then the hash rate will go up again. And Cardano also is not the same as Casper as a project. You know, if they're not proof of work, Casper is, Cardano's not the same. Welcome back, Half-Light Hell Casper indeed. Kind of, yes, you know, you're kind of right, Wing Hong. What happens in the bear market? Who knows? Who knows? I still think we're fine though. So tech won't change the future of crypto. More speed, more security, better capability doesn't matter. But again, I mean, exactly, Jason. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make as well. Tech does matter. I know you're asking me 12 questions. Like, literally, tech matters a lot. And I agree as well. We are extremely early. If you focus only on the price of Casper, it means you invest more than you should have. Yeah, I agree with you, Go. So there, don't be emotional, logical. I'm not worried about Casper. My bag in Casper is as big as it has. But at the same time, the money I have in it, if I was to, God forbid, somehow go to zero, which I don't think would happen if it did, God forbid, I wouldn't be too worried. I'd be a bit frustrated, of course, but I haven't invested my life savings in Casper. I've invested what I can afford. You know? If it's too much for you, that's perfectly fine. Again, investing for everybody. My big thing for Casper is the stablecoin path. There is no stablecoin payment rail that's faster, secure, and truly decentralized. It doesn't exist. Casper will create it. I agree. Welcome back, Bees, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. And let's face it, if Bitcoin was a good option as a payment rail, nobody would use anything else. Casper will be that. Exactly. I mean, yes, but what's to say that they can't then bridge on top of Casper? What Casper's trying to do as well, which is what will help a chain survive, is become interoperable to connect to other platforms. Big chains are creating their own thing, War Liberty, for example, as well. But they have to build on a protocol. Ethereum right now is big. JP Morgan are building their own blockchain, or their own platform. They're building on Ethereum. Ethereum is a protocol, effectively. The same way how you're watching YouTube right now. You type in www.youtube.com. What you don't type in is HTTP //. What these projects are, like Ethereum, I guess like XRP's ledger, what Casper's trying to build right now is the HTTP of the crypto world. That's what we're investing into. The actual underlying protocol that nobody even realized you're using. These blockchain providers, you know, JP Morgan's website, they built on HTTP on Google. That's what we're investing into. So are these other chains making their own blockchains? Yes. Will it be centralized? Yes. Will they end up bridging onto Casper because it's safer and more secure and quick? Probably, maybe. Because Casper's creating a protocol for it. That's what we need to understand. They may not build on Casper. They may build on another chain and then bridge to Casper. Cause they might. You know, JP Morgan right now building on Ethereum. Casper's creating EVMs, so they can bridge Ethereum dApps and tools onto Casper. You might think JP Morgan will be like, oh, you know what? Casper's decentralized, so it's safer, it's secure, it's cheap, it's faster. Let's just bridge our Ethereum blockchain thing to Casper instead. And there, all your liquidity comes to Casper. Because Casper's building a protocol, a HTTP for crypto. That's what we're trying to understand. That's what's being built right now. So again, tech matters. Yeah, I did see a post about that. Please by all means, Auden, join the Discord, the free Discord server, and post it in the Casper channel. I'll make sure to look at it and talk about it tomorrow's stream 100%. Although I am quickly running out of time, so I have to wrap up very, very quickly. I love 6 cents. Oh yeah, I would love 6 cents as well. It'd be a great, great time. Well, there's posters from the KF, some big thing happening as well. Post it in my community. I'm literally running out of time right now, so I've got to be very, very abrupt and finish quite quickly. Also this one here as well. I'll post this stuff as well. Maybe talk about it in tomorrow's stream as well. But yeah, dropping Casper's price wouldn't complain for me because I'll be able to scoop a big bag as well. And you're also completely right there as well, Jason. You know, proof of work just is proof of work is truly centralized. Truly centralized. You have to mine it using resources. Proof of stake means it was predetermined amount of coins to be distributed from the team, and proof put out of nowhere. I mean, proof of work is safer, yeah. Yeah, fair. You're delusional if you think private institutions will adopt a third-party chain. Stop losing yourself. Again, this is a protocol. All I can tell you is all I'm telling you right now is based on what institutional documents are talking about. Of course, they're not talking about Casper, but they're talking about what they're building, and some of them are even talking about what chains they're building on, namely Ethereum. So it's not a case of me deluding myself, with respect. It's based on alpha information sources that I am literally picking up from these documents, from KPMG, from PwC, from Deloitte, from JP Morgan, from Franklin Templeton, who's building on XLM Stellar. I'm literally paraphrasing what information I provide in this paid VIP community. And you can join for free for a week and check out all the documents I have in there. If you go in that community and you type in exclusive, you'll see all the documents that I've put in there, and they have links to the documents there as well. You can look for yourself. Now, they're not all of them. In fact, not any of them really talk about Casper. Casper's still really, really early, but I can correlate what they're talking about and explain why I think Casper's a great choice for them and why they could adopt Casper. And then in regards to PwC, they are partner of the KRI, therefore partner of Casper. So with respect, Infity, I'm paraphrasing what I look into. I'm a researcher. I'm a researcher and I talk about my beliefs. I'm not saying Casper will 100% get... I didn't say that Casper will get adopted by JP Morgan. I'm saying it's a possibility based on Casper's tech. And I'm explaining what I research in here. If you don't believe me, then you need to find the docs I'm looking at. In fact, I'll quickly... I mean, again, I'm literally about to wrap up right now very quickly. So I'm going to just showcase one old document real quickly. So this just so you get an understanding exactly what information I provide in that community. Which one can I even load up? No. Which one? No. Yeah. That's one with Coinbase in partnership with Ernst & Young I could load up, and that talks about the shift we're going to see in crypto adoption and them coming on chain. KPMG talking about the Great Wealth Transfer or the Great Reset. This one from Signum Bank, which is the one where they spoke about big things coming. You know what? I'm going to have to save for the next stream actually, because I just don't simply have the time right now, and I want to find the ideal one. I mean, I've got loads in there, so I'm just trying to skim through them right now to find the right one, but literally there's so many I've got in there. I'm trying to look through them right now, these exclusives. So again, yeah, if you want to find out more, by all means, come check it out. You join for free for a week and get a little inkling for yourself, and then if you want to stay on after that, it's up to you. We're having our next VIP roundtable on Sunday, so you can listen in real time to the information we're covering there, and also trade information from our experienced traders, see crypto in there as well. So it's up to you. Come check it out. But one thing that I try to do is research to provide. I don't try to just chat, rubbish. I'm not saying there's a reason why I don't give price predictions for Casper, because that would seem like I'm trying to spread FOMO and unnecessarily I do a whole Casper, yes. Do I think I do well? Yes. I'm not giving price predictions because I don't want to make it seem like I'm going to use it for extra liquidity. I think Casper will do well, and I talk about information about what I researched coming in. I mean, again, you can have Tony and Joking and those who are part of the VIP attest of what we cover in there as well, and you can see what we're talking about. But there's a lot of big stuff coming through. Thank you very much, Alden. I'll look at it another date, brother, please. Thank you very much. True. Very true. Very, very true. Tech isn't enough. I mean, tech alone, maybe not, but it's not like Casper only has tech. And again, think of the KRI. If they pull through what they're trying to do, then Casper does have institutional adoption. It's going to take a bit of time, that's all. And again, I've already made my 2 cents on the matter. Probably, yeah. Probably it will do. Precisely. I've probably got a lot of questions right now, but I simply do have to just wrap up right now. So I will be... Welcome back, Antonio, although I'm just leaving right now. So if you've got any questions or want to continue the conversation, then by all means save your comments and I'll look at them tomorrow. But I do not have the time right now, unfortunately. I have to literally leave right here and now. Welcome, IPL. If you enjoyed the stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. True, yes. If you want to know about crypto and Casper and learn a lot more, check out the free community. Equally, learn a lot about alpha information and what institutions are talking about of crypto and their timelines and how long it's going to take for this adoption to happen in my VIP, wop.com/coinfactory. Have a great day, good evening, good night, family. I also believe that as well, Beebs, truth be told. I'll do that as well. That being said, have a great day, good evening, good night, and I will see you all in the next